The hosts of this podcast are in no way experts of any kind in any field. They are in no way qualified to give advice on anything for any reason. Please do not attempt to recreate anything that is said by these delinquents. Listening to this podcast is ill-advised.
Anyways, hey, on a good note, our ice storm, I think, has finally melted.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
Yeah.
My son's completely upset about it, but
He's upset?
yes.
Yeah, but he's not a grown adult that has to walk through it like me.
I know, or drive to it.
I would rather drive. I feel like a fucking moron when I have to walk on ice. Let me ask y'all a question. Okay, serious note. When y'all walk on ice, do y'all do fairly well? Like getting from point, you get out of your car and you've got to get to the curb. Do you, in your mind, do y'all fear that you're going to fall, or do you feel pretty confident?
Every step.
I do the old man shuffle.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do too. Like I'm okay. So I went to my dad's house and I had to get something from this, from the back storage area. I had to go around because it was impossible to go to the back porch because it was just, a sheet of ice. And I went to the front and I thought it was the soft snow, but it was like day 3 where the soft snow it looks like soft snow, but it's not soft snow.
It was just solid ice.
Right.
Underneath, yeah.
I walked on it, and my dad's house is right in front of a highway. So I almost completely bust ass. And I mean, I hold on to the bush. Like I have my hands halfway in the bush and I'm holding on to it. And a car honks. It's like, honk, honk, honk. And I'm like, he saw that. Like the dude saw me almost bust ass.
Yes.
And I dropped what I was holding on to.
It's my biggest fear.
So I had to scale the whole front of the freaking house with the bush. I held on to it and I just pulled myself little by little. I did. I had to get deep into the bush to get the branches.
Whoa.
And then like my phone rings and I look at it, it's my mom and I'm like, I'm right here. I'm trying to survive. I hate walking on ice. I hate it.
This wasn't a regular snow. This was just
it wasn't even
frozen.
snow.
It was sleet.
Well, there was a little snow.
It was sleet.
Yeah.
Like it was just a
shitload of
sheet
sleet.
of ice.
It was sleet, and then after it sleeted, then freezing rain came in right
Little bit,
behind
yeah.
And then you had like a little meltage, like thermal melting.
And that's
not
when it
like
gets
above
crazy.
temperature melting, but thermal melting. Yeah.
When just the surface of that ice like starts getting a little bit wet, that's when it gets fucking slick.
Yep.
But there's always these SOBs that walk on it like it's nothing, and they look back at you like, "Are you okay? Are you having trouble?" I'm like a mix between I'm holding my shit or like a fresh baby from mama's womb, like a baby deer, like fresh out of the
Your
womb.
legs all fucking.
Yeah, like I can't walk. I mean, I'm like I would much rather just get on my belly and just
Slide like a penguin.
yeah, like for penguins, they just like they get ready to start.
Do the breaststroke.
Yeah, just slide my way to it. It'd be less embarrassing. If I fall, I'm already on the ground. I can't. The distance is going to be a lot less pain.
I don't know if it'd be less embarrassing, but I mean,
I no. You haven't seen me. I'm a big guy. I fall hard. Like there will be a sitcom noise button to people laughing in the background. Like somehow the laugh track. Yeah. No, I'm a big guy. It hurts falling.
That's honestly
Even
my
from short
biggest
distance.
fear is just someone seeing me fall. Like I don't care if I fall and like no one sees. Like that's no big deal. I'll get back up. I'll be bruised, but
Awful.
bruising your pride, that's a different.
Work was bad. When we got to the office, our boss had messaged us. He's like, dude, it's like Antarctica. It's like an ice rink. And like he was not joking.
It was an ice rink.
There was a Zambogey. What are they called?
Zamboni.
Zamboni. I said bogey.
Bogey.
Zambogey.
Zambogey.
There was a Zambogey going in there. I mean, man, it was bad. Like there was no traction, no hard anything, no soft. It was terrible.
Oh yeah.
Bad.
Well, I've got. You know what I want to talk about? I want to talk about man-made wonders that you can see from space.
We're back on space again, huh?
No.
I know one.
No. So I'm gonna say 3, and I'm gonna let you guess the 4th. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay. First one, Great Pyramid of Giza.
You could see him from space.
You can see that from space.
Yeah.
Can you really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
You didn't know that?
No,
Where the hell you been?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Living in a fucking cave, I guess.
Living in a cave.
Jared's
Living on a prayer in a
Jared,
cave
he's like, those are
with
only,
Bon
you can only
Jovi.
see those through paper books.
Don't
You can only see those through books.
don't hate on John Bon Jovi.
So anyway,
Yeah.
the Great Pyramid of Giza,
Yep.
and then the Palm Islands of Dubai. All those islands in Dubai, those are all man-made.
That look like
Look like palm trees.
How do they make dirt? How do they just add dirt and just keep piling it on there?
I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. How's that?
I don't know. It's just I think about it like just beep beep, bring it all in here. Make it look like a leaf. A lot of dirt.
Make it look like a leaf.
A big palm leaf.
The fucking contractor gets out his plans. It just says, "Make it look like a leaf."
True story. I didn't know that was man-made until right now.
Really?
You actually taught me something.
You didn't know this?
I swear to
Those
God.
are man-made.
Did not know those were man-made.
The
Did you know that?
third is
didn't know
actually an accumulation of greenhouses in Spain. It's like all these greenhouses. Don't ask me what they. I know you're going to ask me what they grow in them, and
But I got two other questions
how
after
much
that.
they're fucking, how much they were, and where did they come from, and if they were biodegradable plastic. I don't know any of those
Shit
questions.
about that? What do they cook?
It's literally, it's literally an accumulation of greenhouses in Spain, and I cannot remember the name of the town. But can you guess what the fourth is?
Great Wall of China.
No, the Great Wall of China you cannot see from space.
No,
Fourth.
you can't. Well, I mean, you can see the big crater in and what's that? That southwestern.
You give up?
I wasn't even done.
It's
I wasn't done.
The balls on President Vladimir Zelensky.
Hell yeah!
Holy shit balls.
Straight up, dude.
Not to be confused with Ray Zelensky, the auto parts king.
The name's Zelensky. I make car parts for the American working man because that's what I am, and that's who I care about.
But I think you can't see the Great Wall of China.
You can't.
Oh fuck. But yeah, his balls were big, man.
He's got some big old brass ones.
Yeah, dude. You know when Russia came in, Russia, you know, like, hey, we're taking over. We're going to take those two little countries that aren't ours as a pretext of war. Dude, he was like, hold my beer. Gets up and just goes and does the damn
He was
thing.
an actor before this job.
bro.
That was his job.
Yeah.
He voiced Paddington Bear, the Ukrainian version of Paddington Bear. And then Putin's like, hey, like, we're coming in. And he's like, oh, bullshit.
He also-
He's like, guess what? I'm going to play Rambo now.
Oh yeah, dude. You think he sits in his? Maybe what happened is he's like, you know what? This is my time to shine. All these years of acting, this is going to be the greatest
Stage.
This the greatest performance I'm ever going to.
Well, he acted on a TV series where he played the president of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Really?
And then he
Very
did such a
good.
good job and everybody loved him. He was like, well, screw it. I'm going to, I guess, run for president.
I mean, dude, like that, it's crazy.
He's such he has just surfaced as such an interesting guy. Like being an actor and then going into politics, and he was actually the guy on the phone with Trump when Trump made his infamous "We want you to do us a favor" line,
which is what impeached him. I bet he was just telling him, he's like, you know, when I was in this movie when I started, and Trump's probably like, in Home Alone 2, I said,
I've got a credit.
I'm on IMBD.
They say he's probably going to either win like Man of the Year award. He's in track to get like maybe the Nobel Peace Prize.
Dude,
if he lives,
that's
he's already like a modern day. I've seen him compared to a modern day Winston Churchill.
I was just going to say that they're going to write history books on like he sets the new standard now for leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, in times of war and crisis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know, not only is he a badass, he makes other people a badass. And this is a great fucking segue. Go to the message. Go to that video that I queued up. So there was this video of this Ukrainian. He was just like, dude, I'm so inspired by our president. Hold my beer. He went and picked up a freaking landmine with a cigarette in his mouth and says, hold on, let me put this down somewhere else. Press play.
Let's see it.
holding
That's a landmine.
freaking landmine in his hand. That's a live landmine. Live. And he's smoking a cigarette.
How did that cigarette? It's just like fucking dangling in his mouth, like it could just fall.
Yeah,
out
he's telling the kids and the wife, y'all sit back, move this shit out of my way, ruin my picnic on a Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, right.
How do you pick that shit up?
With his bare freaking Ukrainian steel woolen hands. Those are iron hands, man. He's from Ukraine.
So,
They're
like,
badasses.
so you know how there's always like that.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Those Mother Russia memes.
Yeah.
Like, like in Mother Russia, like you chase bear or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, there's gonna be some Ukrainian memes coming out of this shit.
I'll tell you right now, that's a new fucking Olympic sport. And
Like-
Ukraine's gonna fucking win the gold medal.
Absolutely.
That's a gold winning medal winner.
Like
Anyways,
the whole conflict is just something
Yeah.
straight out of. It's just like you can tell this whole conflict
Man.
is of like
out of a book.
kids and grown ass men
Yeah.
that have grown up playing Call of Duty and Battlefield and shit.
Very good, very
very
good.
In the fucking like
point.
in the lobby, just talking mad shit to each other.
Yeah.
Now they're sending memes across the fucking front lines. Like, yeah, this is war at its finest.
And those young
I shouldn't
kids,
say that,
young kids, young kids. Oh yeah, we do feel bad. I mean, we hate that Ukraine's
Yeah,
going through all
absolutely,
that shit. I mean,
absolutely.
it's bad.
I
But
haven't
it-
heard,
oh, yeah, go ahead.
I haven't heard stories that supposedly like Miss Ukraine was even down there with like an AK fucking fighting.
Oh,
Dude,
bro, we're talking about
grandmas.
We're talking about the Ghost of Kiev.
Oh yeah.
Bro, like the lore that's coming out
Yes,
of
I
this
don't
shit.
know who that is.
The Ghost of
Look it up.
Kiev is Google Ghost of Kiev. KYIV.
I've been seeing a bunch of that lately.
He's like this MiG 28 fighter pilot that's credited with at least 6 kills, I think, right now.
They don't know where he's at, where he's from.
Nobody knows who he is. No, he's literally a ghost.
He appears, takes the lives of Russians, and disappears.
So now there's a Ukrainian Reaper, a soldier with, I think, 9 unconfirmed kills on Russian soldiers.
These Ukrainians are badass, dude.
Apparently.
But you know what, though? It all stems from their leadership.
Yeah.
It says the Ghost of Kiev is an anonymous fighter pilot said to be active in defending Ukraine from the Russian invasion.
But do you know what that shit does to you mentally? If you're flying a plane in Ukrainian airspace,
Yeah.
like you're like, okay, fuck, like okay, looking around, like you need Maverick and Goose in that motherfucker or something,
Right?
You know, and not only that, too, what's cool about the Ukrainian president, Zelenskyy lifted the ban on weapons, lifted the ban on so many restrictions. When you're president, when your leader says, hey, listen, we're by ourselves. Ain't nobody coming to our rescue. You know, it's us or nobody.
Exactly.
And you pick up arms, you do what you got to do. They're making Molotov cocktail bombs at dinner. Like that's what they do after dinner. They just make them, tons of them.
And you've got even like their famous like heavyweight boxer that didn't even have to fight. He makes millions of dollars. They got
Didn't he have a brother too?
They got like him down there
I
fighting.
don't
He's
know.
like, fuck that. I'm fighting for my country, man. He's
Yeah,
like,
Vladimir Klitschko.
yeah, Vladimir Kid. Yeah, it's his.
Oddly enough, Hayden Panettiere's ex-flame. But
She's really into those Ukrainians, isn't she?
apparently.
Russians and Ukrainians. You know, it makes me wonder because now Russia's like the black sheep.
Oh,
They're a pariah. They're like North
Putin's
Korea
got
now.
egg on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, well,
oh, yeah.
But you know what? I don't think I wonder if Putin has really truly lost his mind. I mean, I think in the beginning, a lot of his like comrades and those high ranking government officials were probably like, yeah, he's probably like, we're going to invade Russia. Yeah, we're going to invade Russia.
Right.
But now we're going to annex countries. We're going to annex countries. And then I think he's just like losing his damn mind now.
a lot
Now
of
he's
people are
like,
thinking.
we're going to activate the nuke, but we're going to, what the fuck?
Right.
What? We're going to do what? When we're going to ride bears into Ukraine. Nah, fuck this. Nope, I'm done. Ain't doing it.
What's bad?
I'm sitting out on this one.
What's bad is one of the main reasons he did that was because he did this is because he didn't want Ukraine to join NATO.
Right.
And but he's caused all these other countries to join NATO now that want to join NATO. Like Switzerland is talking about joining NATO.
And Switzerland has been
Switzerland
neutral.
has always been neutral.
Yeah.
And because of this, they're like, no, fuck this. I'm joining NATO now. So
We're sending all of our army knives over to NATO.
And you got to remember, Ukraine has always been, and this has nothing on the president, but Ukraine has always been kind of like the dirty used condom. You know, in Europe, they've used it to do a lot of nefarious, illegal, illicit activities and crime. But you know what, though? I think now the EU's like, you know what? Maybe they're not all that bad. Not to mention we're scared as fuck out of them. I mean, I'm scared as shit. I'm not going to tell Zelenskyy no.
Seriously.
You're going to tell him he can't join the EU? Motherfucker. No. Here, you got a fucking, we're going to boost you all the way to the good seat, table 5.
Seriously. If it were up to me, I'd be like, I don't know about the rest of your guys, but like, you're in. Like, come on, dude.
We'll replace you with Trudeau. Let's take the Canadian Prime Minister out for a little while.
Yeah.
Let's sit his ass out. He can
Bring
go-
the Reaper and the Ghost with you, man. Come on.
You get 2 extra tickets. What else do you want? But you know, I'm really proud of Ukraine. They really have been stepping.
Seriously.
That's what I was going to say. They just got, about 5 hours ago, before we got to the studio, they were given officially they've been giving a charter application or whatever. Anyways, it's official. Like I think they're getting their way into becoming a part of NATO.
That's good. I mean,
This is good. Or
So what's that
the
mean?
EU.
What's that mean for the United States if they join NATO? Does that mean we are going to get involved?
No. If they join NATO, it just means that now they're protected by Article 5, which basically says an attack on one is an attack on all. So being part of NATO is a big thing.
Right.
As far as the U.S., it's just for us. I mean, it's just now it's another country we got to defend. God forbid if something happens.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they're going to have to wait till after things get settled. They're like, yeah, we're going to.
Well, here's the thing.
We'll accept you. Just
Here's the
we'll
thing.
see if you die first.
Exactly. Here's the thing about this. Even if Russia
trial
was
by
to,
fire.
even if Russia was to take over Ukraine, there would be, even if they got in there and took it over, they would never quell the rebellions. There would be rebellions. There would be uprisings.
There's uprisings in Russia right now.
That's what I'm saying. So even if he took it over, he's already lost. Like he lost the minute he tried.
And that's what like he was relying on, and he even mentioned it in a press conference with. I don't think it was Zelenskyy that showed up to talk with him but he mentioned in a press conference, he's like, this is what we're going to come in, and you know, we're much more advanced, and we have much more military power, and we're going to crush you. It's like, well, what about like the Taliban? Like they're splinter cells of people that live in caves, and they gave us a run for our money.
Well, yeah, because that wasn't their backyard.
Yeah,
they didn't know they don't do good in high altitude. Apparently,
I'm telling you, man. There's reports of Ukrainians taking street signs.
Yeah.
So Russians are just lost on the highways, no idea where they're going.
Could you imagine?
Tanks running out of gas, and I think you mentioned it to me. They're asking. Russian soldiers are asking Ukrainian civilians for gas.
Yeah, they said, "Hey, we'll give you a lift back to Russia. We'll tell you back." It'd be hilarious. Like one of the Russian tanks are heading down, and they take the sign and switch it, and 2 hours later they arrive right back where they originally were. Like, damn it! What are you doing?
What's that movie? Cube.
Never seen it.
You never seen Cube?
No.
Oh, it's just like the sci-fi movie. These people wake up in a giant cube, and
it's like a giant death fucking trap.
Every room just leads to another room.
Was it like Firefly that I failed to see because I could not find it? I looked all over the place.
Did you look on Tubi?
Yeah, but I didn't have Tubi, and then I didn't download it.
You looked for what, Firefly?
Yeah.
You didn't Google it on YouTube?
I tried Googling on YouTube, and every time I went to a website, it took me to something else, and they wanted me to watch some other cheerleaders movie or some other. It's hard to find it.
It is. It's old.
Why.
And Couch Tutor, which is still around. Oops, maybe we shouldn't mention them on here.
Who?
There's a website where you can stream, probably not the most legal way, series. They don't even have it.
Well, I was gonna say something, but like I say, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Say anything.
I promise you, President Zelenskyy will hear you. You better hush. He's got ears everywhere.
Just kicks in the fucking door with his fucking vest and machine gun.
Yeah,
what,
dude?
Right?
Telling
Somebody
you.
say Russia?
But the whole thing about this is this whole, Ukraine thing. It's crazy this day and age, man. And what's even crazier is these Russian, Ukraine, these people are don't even realize that at some points they're having to fight like their cousins and shit. That's their relatives over there.
Yeah, seriously.
And if you look, a lot of the soldiers he's got, the Russians are like young kids, and
Yeah.
some of the, if you look at their weapons and stuff, some of them even look outdated and shit. Like they're using old ass weapons.
Yeah,
and,
I think it was a big flex. And well, no, I take that back.
Well, I think I agree. I agree with what you're
Putin
saying.
always was going to try to do something to rechange the map that he envisioned. It never was going to leave back
Right.
in the mid '90s. You know, when the Iron Curtain
Yeah,
fell.
well, I mean, he was fucking a
Ex-KGB.
yeah, he was KGB back then.
Yeah.
Like that was his golden age or whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it.
I wouldn't be surprised. My father and I were talking about this too. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they overthrow him, because you got to think about it. Like, their economy sucks.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
Russia-
mobs at ATMs
Yeah.
right now trying to get what little cash they have left out of the banks.
Oh yeah.
So his economy, he is just. I mean, their interest rates have doubled now. I mean, it's just so bad. There's nothing. There's nothing left in Russia worth even getting back behind the war for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And honestly, before this, Russia was pretty much, I mean, even after this, Russia was pretty much almost a third world country if you think about it.
It's gone through a lot
through a
of
lot.
ups
So,
and
like-
downs.
And their economy's always been.
I say ups and downs. It's mostly downs.
Yeah. Yes.
But like
mean-
Russian history was always my thing. For whatever reason, I loved studying Russian history.
My sister-in-law's the same way, man. She loves Russia. It's very interesting stuff, though. Man.
It is like,
is.
especially the czars. I say Russian history mostly back like the Romanov family.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but it's always been that way. It's been like a very short period of prospering under a somewhat sane leader, and then just
And then since '99,
a century of fucking dark ages
when did he get
under
in?
fascism and just communism, and it's just
I think it was like in '94. I don't know when it was. I don't know when Putin got into power, but he's been there since the '90s. You know who's really
I think it
cool?
was, 94 and 95, something like that.
Yeah, do you know who's really cool? Who's really stepped up? I mean, like, deserves a, like, hey, way to go award? Elon Musk. Like,
Yeah.
he Russia
Yeah.
was like blacking out, he did a blackout, communications blackout for Ukraine. They didn't have internet. They were having a whole lot of communication issues. Elon's like, bring over the satellites. And then boom, like put like 4 or 5 right over Ukraine. Now they got internet, and they were like, you out of gas? Bring over the electric chargers. no fees to charge their cars. I mean, Elon's a badass, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he's the first billionaire putting his money to something actually good.
Yeah.
Which
The way I
which is
picked,
smart, because that is huge.
Can you let him talk?
I'm sure,
huge.
absolutely.
That is huge.
This is his episode.
This is that is huge publicity.
Huge. It's fucking
Huge,
huge.
yeah, huge publicity for him.
Huge.
So that's just
It
the thing.
is, but at the same time, I think Elon Musk is just. I feel like he's a good dude. I know I'd say he's like gonna be a Bond villain all the time, but he very well could be a Bond villain if he
damn-
wanted to.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
But it just, I picture the way that went down was like Elon Musk was just like sitting like in a dark, like very modern room, completely made of windows at the top of a very tall tower, in like a nice suit with a glass of wine, and like just like some like secretary walks
Not
in
wine.
with a clipboard.
Yeah, I was gonna
Scotch,
say-
yeah.
a Scotch.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're
Yeah.
probably
He doesn't
right. He's
look like a
probably
wine
more of a
drinker.
Scotch guy.
Scotch guy.
But like a little secretary with a clipboard comes in, is like, and just kind of like, Mr. Musk, there's a war, and Russia's being very mean to Ukraine.
Turned off the
And
lights.
Elon Musk is just kind of scrolling through his phone, and just like, presses a button, like all the satellites. Just,
Could you imagine somebody in France is like, what happened to the internet?
right.
What the hell?
But he does kind of give off that Bondish villain if you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
he does.
he seems like he could be that perfectly nice guy, but then all of a sudden just flip the script.
Look at all the fucking Bond villains. They all have a slight accent.
Yeah,
They're all extremely wealthy, extremely
smart.
smart, extremely eccentric.
Yep.
And like they all have like a quirk, and his quirk is like robotics and AI and
everything that we
next
need now.
level, next world shit.
Yeah.
And he's
Pretty cool.
It's eventual, like it's inevitable that him and Daniel Craig are gonna fucking
no.
I don't know who that is, but I sure.
can't be Daniel Craig.
whoever
I don't
else
know.
is
I don't know who that
gonna
is.
be top. Whoever the next Bond is.
I would spoil it for you, but
Never saw any-
I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen the last.
I've never seen any of the
James
Bonds.
It better not be a girl.
Never seen any of the Bonds.
No, I don't know who it is, but I'm just saying I don't want to spoil, the ending of the last James Bond.
I haven't seen any of them.
So
Chris doesn't know who James
I don't
Bond
know who
is.
that. Who's that?
well, I'm sorry, but you.
I've never seen any of them.
You live in a.
Is it
Hold on,
as
hold on.
good as Conan?
Hold on. I feel like an insult's coming. Hold on.
I'm sorry, you live in a fucking box.
There it is.
You know what, man?
There it is. How do you feel now, you fucking jerk?
Not all Latinos live in a box. Okay?
Whoa!
Not all Latinos live in a box.
How the tables have turned.
No, I've never seen
Why
any
you
of
got to
them.
make it racial? I never said anything
Hey,
about.
apparently I live in a box.
So
Too good for Central Air and heat.
Was it an orange box
I never said a color.
that he was? No, I
Was
mean a
it-
fruit that he was
Yeah,
selling
yeah.
on the side of the highway.
Yeah, was it
No, it was like a
avocados
fucking,
of Mexico
It
box?
was like a cardboard box, a UPS box. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, that's how I would have been smuggled over here, right? Stop! Just let's just move on.
No, that was a potato sack.
Still haven't paid y'all for that, have I? Well, hopefully everything works out okay. By the time this airs, God forbid, I hope Zelensky's still alive and still being a badass.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like there's a lot of people that are, like y'all said, he's already nominated for Man of the Year and being declared as the Winston Churchill of this generation. He's going to be a household name, like
Well, he'll be in the history
soon,
books.
if not already.
Yeah, he'll be in the history
So
books.
I mean, ultimately, I think Russia got more than they bargained for in this little conflict. They just bit off a little bit more than they could chew.
Oh man, they can't even chew it now. It's just a mouthful mouthful of Zelensky. Whoa.
I know what the name of this episode's going to be.
Whoa, that's pretty good though. You
That was
gotta
pretty,
admit.
I gotta give you credit. That was actually pretty good.
By the way, I gotta get a haircut.
Zelensky.
I gotta get a haircut. Like I'm at the point now where my beanies are just doing more damage than good now. Look at this.
Please don't.
Yeah, go on.
Please, God.
Look at that.
Please don't. Oh, man.
Look at that.
Jeez.
Oh,
It's
man.
bad. Look at it.
You look like a methed out Vegeta.
Anyways. Kakarot! No. Okay, sorry. That was loud. I shouldn't have done that.
That was extremely
Well, I don't have my
That was
headphones on, so
extremely loud.
I don't know.
I see why you wear a beanie now.
Equalizer is here.
Real quick story. You're not going to... I don't know if I ever told you this. Okay? But one time when I was in San Francisco, we weren't in San Francisco like visiting. We flew through and we had a layover. And we had to pick up a connecting flight, Felicia and I, in San Francisco. And we're waiting. We're actually about to walk to my gate. And I see this guy in a suit. And he's on the phone. And it was kind of weird. Like it was very noticeable I was probably about maybe 30 yards away from this guy. And he's like this on the phone. And I'm like, man, that guy kind of looks like John McCain's busted ass arms, you know? And I was like, I started walking closer. I was like, shit, that's John McCain in his busted ass arms. And I was like, holy crap, that's John McCain, you know?
You did tell me.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, when you see your favorite football player, he wasn't really my favorite senator, but he was still like one of those, like, you gotta collect them all. So I was like, holy fuck, I said, babe, hold my stuff. So like, I go to that picture I said, I actually took a picture of him before I started accosting him. So yeah, so like, there it is. Yeah, so like, there's the classic, like, John McCain holding the phone thing, right? And like,
there's the classic
what,
John McCain holding the phone thing right
I should be making fun. He actually was like a prisoner of war and got his arms fucking busted. That's kind of okay.
You took
Take a
enough
moment of
pictures. It looks
silence.
like you took enough pictures of them. I saw a bunch of
Kind of
them.
moment of silence on that.
So.
Okay, so anyways, so I walked up to him and like at this point right here, this is where he sees me doing this. I'm walking up. I'm like my hips are all like I'm like power shuffling.
Security.
I was saying, next thing you know,
I'm-
you see security come out.
I'm power shuffling like right now, like so he doesn't have
Ball
any of the
walking.
security. Yeah, dude, hardcore. And so at this point, like right when I'm there, he goes, he says something to his wife, and he turns around, and to the right or to his left, my right, there's the bathroom, men's bathroom. So he's like, he turns around and starts walking to the bathroom. I'm like, nope, I'm right behind you, motherfucker. And it wasn't until then, like, because I was trying to film him. I was like, at this point, I was like trying to get over to the video, and he looks back and sees me, and I was like, shit, oh man, I'm like, at this point, I'm about to walk into the bathroom. So I was like, I can't film now. I'm like, hey, this is gonna be bad.
This is gonna look kind of awkward.
So
Probably
I
not
do the
best.
next best thing. I want to hear what he's saying, because like senators like John McCain, I mean, he served on several committees that I really would love to know what goes on in the back. When the cameras are off, this is the good stuff. So I went to the urinal next to him where he was peeing, and then like he sees me walk up to the urinal, and he remembers me from that Mexican that was following him, you know.
Well, yeah, because it was 2 seconds ago.
Right.
Well, yeah, and he was like, shit, he found me. He found me. So he turns around and goes into the stall. So he goes to the urinal, and he goes to the stall. Well, there's an empty stall next to you, buddy. So yes, I did. So I went in there, and like I swear to you, like he was talking about defense budgets, and then he mentioned something about Afghanistan. And I mean, I don't think it was anything classified, but it was cool just to hear him talking about shit you hear on the news. Anyways, by that point, I had to go.
So you're probably on some kind of list.
I've already got on a
Hold
watch
on.
list. Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
Oh, I guarantee you I was on a list.
By that point, you had to go, or by that point, you were removed?
No, by that
I'm about
point,
to
it was
say.
getting awkward because, like, I
By
literally-
that point, it was getting awkward?
Well, it wasn't
How
that-
many people were at the stalls, or at the urinals?
It was a packed bathroom.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
it was real packed.
So it wasn't
And-
like there was several open urinals and you just
Oh, no,
landed right beside him.
I was packed bathroom, but there was several. There, it's an airport bathroom, so there was like 10 urinals, and I went right next to him.
And you didn't have to.
No, I didn't have to, but I
Well,
wouldn't.
then that's where it got awkward.
But I wouldn't have been able to hear what he was saying if I went over there, anyways. And then I was like, well, I don't have to poop, and like at this point, I know he knows I'm there because he can see my shoes underneath it, you know.
He can see you like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So,
Chris
anyways,
holding the.
I didn't want to go, man. I wanted to talk to him and see what was up, man.
He
But
didn't want to talk to you.
no, he didn't even want to see me.
He had defense
He
budgets
had
to
no
discuss.
about Afghanistan. He had nowhere else to go though. I had that motherfucker a lot. He was in the. I knew where he was at.
Look how scared he looks right there.
no,
Just seeing you.
that right there. He locked. We locked eyes. We had a
Yeah,
moment.
He's terrified.
We had a moment.
He looks like he's back in that POW camp.
Yeah, dude. He was.
He's
freaking
like,
out.
holy shit.
Having flashbacks. And you're lucky I don't look like a Vietnamese because.
You kind of do. I mean,
Anyways, I thought it was a cool story.
Well, now we know that you were on some kind of government list.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That was back in my conspiracy days too, man.
for those that don't know Chris, the first thing you should know about him is he is a psychopath. He will follow you into the stalls.
If you are an active serving congressman or woman, I am going to follow you into a bathroom, which actually is not.
Whoa,
Out of the-
whoa. You might want to backtrack.
It's actually
that
not out of the
statement.
ordinary because I mean they've been doing that right now to a lot of Democrat and Republicans. They've been
Hey, you might want to
protesting.
backtrack that statement there, sir.
Fall into the bathroom. If I gotta pee, I gotta go.
You're gonna, but you said follow women.
No, I won't go all the way in. I'll wait.
I
for
won't
them to
go
walk
all the
out.
way. I'll just stick my arm in with the microphone. What are you talking about, miss?
just get some extra slack on that.
He gets a selfie stick and is like,
Like,
Like Chris bought a boom with him. What the fuck?
It's an AMSR, ASMR.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, yeah.
my
Sorry,
God,
bad
Chris.
story, but I had to mention it.
Well, that was fun.
yeah.
I could see being enamored with a United States senator, like
I
with
really-
someone as prominent as John McCain.
Yeah, because
Honestly, I probably wouldn't even recognize him.
no, you wouldn't have. But
I know the name. I know who he is, but like
I'll be honest, from
to me,
my
he was like
distance,
actually an actor from Battlestar Galactica. That's
you probably
why.
would have, yeah.
So
Yeah. But from my distance, the first thing I noticed was his arm. He said something about Battlestar Galactica, whatever it's called.
he looks like there's like a general or commander in Battlestar Galactica that looks identically almost to him. So, anyways,
I thought it was cool. He I bet you at night when he went to bed, he's probably thinking about me.
I bet he fucking.
Yeah, I know he was. I mean, he was like,
His security team definitely was.
but he didn't have no security. That's just it. He was just him and his wife.
How do you know he had security?
And you know, when I walked out of the bathroom, she was like looking at the bathroom. Like you could tell she was waiting to see who would come out first, me or him. And I think she was a little relieved that I came out first because she saw me too. Like they both saw me.
You probably should have just like posted up beside her, be like, "So,
Yeah, can I hang out here for a little bit? Where y'all guys going to get some grab some
married to
lunch?
John McCain, huh? How's that going for you?
How does that work? How does that work? You want to grab lunch?
You ever heard of Zeitgeist?
I should have
Get into that whole
I should have
conversation.
asked them if they wanted to go grab a lunch, man.
You should've.
I want you to meet my wife Felicia. She don't know who you are.
You should have.
And let's talk about defense budgets.
He'd have been like, "Sir, get the fuck away from
He
me."
was on Senate Intelligence Committees, man. I love those hearings, man. Those are good hearings. A lot of good stuff.
Sounds boring.
Hell no.
We'll put the links to those hearings in the comments
They get animated.
or description, whatever.
They get animated. Them old farts, man. They get.
I'm sure they do, Chris. I'm sure they.
Will the gentleman from Arizona please shut his mouth? They get all into that shit. I'm reclaiming my time. that parliamentary art. What was a crazy one.
Oh my god.